All right, thank you for sticking around. We are the final group of the evening for you tonight. This is Sioux Falls Jazz 1. It's our pleasure to play for you. Because of all the snow days, I had to submit the program on Wednesday, and, well, we didn't know we were going to play. We did a concert in Des Moines a week ago on Wednesday when there was also a snow day. We played down in Des Moines, and so we're playing some of those, and then we're throwing a new one at you tonight as well. So we're going to open the show tonight with a great composition from 1992 by Maria Schneider called Bird Count. It's F blues in the style of a Mingus thing. It gets a little raucous. We're going to have a lot of fun. You'll hear a bunch of solos, and we're going to start all the way back there with Jeremy Marchesani on the vibes. So I hope you enjoy Maria Schneider's Bird Count. Thank you very much. Soloists on that tune were Jeremy Marchesani, Jax Berry, trumpet trio of Trouble with Chase Pine, Blake Aarons, and Emma Cryer. Sophia Munoz is holding it down on the Berry saxophone over there. And you heard from Elias Smith, who plays guitar pretty well. We like him. And then we had a little senior saxophone duo with William and Johnny that ended up in a tie. And Sophia again at the end on the bass plays Berry sax. Yeah. We're going to play next for you a tune written by Charles Mingus. It's a completely different thing. And it was written kind of to symbolize the blues in the churches. And he wrote this back in 1962, and he made up the title. It's a portmanteau, which is a combination of two words that mean different things to make up a new word. And so he took the English translation from the Old Testament of Ecclesiastes, and which is Book of the Preacher, And then he blended that word with enthusiastic. His translation from the Greek is possessed by. So, possessed by the book of the preacher. And we're going to feature two outstanding tenor saxophonists. We have Jax Berry and Johnny Hartlip on this one. And we hope you enjoy this. This gets a little weird sometimes. There's some collective improv. There's some crazy screaming in the plungers and the trumpets. But it's really cool. I hope you enjoy Charles Mingus's Ecclesiastics. Thank you very much. That was Jack Sperry and Johnny Hartley on the tenor saxophone. They're both really good, and they're both really nice guys, too. So, speaking of nice guys, we're going to feature one of our nicest in the band. Mr. William Sims is a senior. He's played lead alto the last 2 years. And if you watch Iowa Public Television, and who doesn't, you've seen him featured on the last 2 All-State band concerts. He's been first chair in the state and selected by audition out of all of the All-State saxophones to be featured last year with the choir and this year with the band. It's just a phenomenal alto saxophonist. We're sure going to miss him when he graduates. But this is Duke Ellington's Rockabye River, and he wrote it to kind of portray some of the train sounds that you hear coming out of the Deep South back in the 60s. And you're also going to hear solos on this from Chase Klein back there, also a very fine senior trumpet player. He's got a pixie mute, it's a little itty-bitty mute, and he's going to remember to take it out at the end after he's done. Yes. And he's got a plunger, because what isn't more fun than a plunger? So this is Duke Ellington's Rockabye River. right, we have two more selections for you. One is a feature here for Johnny on tenor sax. Really lucky to have him in the band. He's one of the fine tenor players in the state and has been in the All-State Jazz Band 3 years, hopefully 4 coming up. And last year he was lead tenor in the 4A band. He started out playing in Hudson, and I remember when Brad Jensen, a really great band director at Hudson, who's now retired, I saw him at jazz contest. Like, Jack, who's that jazzy tenor guy? And he goes, oh, that's Johnny. He's in 6th grade. He was playing solos that were good enough to sound like they were with the high school. And like, did you start playing with them in 7th grade? Yeah, he was playing with his high school jazz band in 7th grade, and then moved up here last year. We're super happy to have him for many obvious reasons. So this is a great Mike Tomorrow arrangement of I'll Remember April. It's a lot of fun to play for all of you tonight, and thank you so much to those of you that were at the 5 o'clock show. A big hand for our Pete and Holmes Junior High Jazz Bands. They did a great job here. I'm so lucky to work with two of the best colleagues in the state, Gerald Ramsey and Elliot Krams. They are outstanding gentlemen. They are the best at their craft, and they are super fun guys to hang out with and work with. So I thank you to Mr. Ramsey and Mr. Krams. We've got a final tune for you tonight. We're going to close with a Latin tune by Michael Philip Mossman. He's a composer out in New York, writes for a whole bunch of big bands out there, and his publications are getting pushed out by Hal Leonard Publishing Company. He writes for all grade levels, which is super cool. He writes for elementary jazz band, writes for junior high, high school, and college. And this one he wrote for the Mario Bauza Big Band. It's an all-star Cuban band out of New York, full of adult professionals. So I thought, hey, let's give to 15-year-olds with their learner's permit and see what happens. No, there's like 11 seniors in this band, and we will miss them all. But yeah, there's also some really good talent returning and some incredible talent in Jazz 2 and junior high jazz coming up. So can't wait to hear what we get for next year. But for this year, I'd like to say thank you again for coming out and supporting us and for supporting live jazz. This show is so fun to play for our home audience. We've got Talkhorn Jazz coming up in a couple weeks at the University of Northern Iowa. We play right during the lunch hour. We perform at 11:45. So I'd invite you to come during your work business lunch and come on over and hear the band. We'll have some new music for you as well. So we're working on a commission by Mr. Chris Mertz, and we've got a couple other tunes in the folder we've just been waiting to pull out. So this is Mario Bauza, Michael Philip Mossman collaboration on Kubauza. You're going to hear drums up front with Easton Skirl and Jeremy Marchesani. You're going to hear Andrew Mort on the trumpet, and you're going to hear Eli stretched out on the guitar, playing a lot. William Sims gets some space on lead alto, and then Henry Frederick on the trombone, one of the two sophomores in the band. He's in here, and Sophia gets some more love at the end on the low bari notes on the bari saxophone. So we hope you enjoy Kubauza. last person to thank. Thank you to Mr. Corey McBride for running sound for us. It's been director of Thank you. Have a great night.